So anyway, hi, I'm Rosie Phillips. I'm Chief Exec of DHI. Obviously, IT's not my strength. Hi. Thanks so much for inviting me, and thanks a lot for giving me the slot after all the creative stuff. I'll try and be exciting without my slides. I am really delighted to come, and I just wanted to say I've been working, but I've been listening in now and again, and I think it's brilliant what you've done here today, and you've made it a bit festivally like, with such a kind of variety of things going on. I was just reflecting on recovery, really, and I know there's been various conversations in and out about abstinence or not abstinence, or what recovery is. For all that, for me, I think what it's about is about people feeling a sense of belonging and having a community, and that mutual sort of giving and receiving. But I think there's a lot about belonging to a community and the support, the mutual aid, the mutual support people give. And that's, I think, what today's about, and hopefully we'll reach out to some new people maybe who might get involved as a result. So I was asked to talk about DHI, which I will briefly, but I'm going to focus very much on our peer service, and there are quite a lot of DHI peers, I think here I can see a couple, who are such a central part of DHI, a big part of our service, and they bring a huge amount of skill and passion, and really help to sort of connect DHI, the organisation, back to the community, and help to support people to connect with their communities and have that sense of belonging. So just briefly, DHI, if you don't know us, we're actually a social exclusion charity, which is a very negative way of saying it, but we work with people who are excluded for many different reasons, by their circumstances, past, and we help people really by supporting them to remove barriers that get in the way of them leading a life where they can bring their full potential to it and enjoy themselves. So yeah, so within that, we provide a number of services. We're not just a drug and alcohol treatment service, but drug and alcohol is such a massive part of what we do, and that's, because it is such a common response to, I think, human pain and suffering, which goes well beyond, I think, the sort of people that end up coming to our door. I think it's a common response to turn to drugs and alcohol in times of pain, when we're disconnected and don't feel we belong. And I think for some people, for whatever reason, there are, some people find that so compelling and difficult that it sort of then can have such a massive impact on your lives. And I think that's why the sort of common community thing can become such a big support. So I think, just briefly, DHI, I would say, just to make it simple, has 3 core services: our drug and alcohol treatment services, and in Bristol we work in partnership with BDP and with AWP. We're also in Bath and North East Somerset and in South Gloucestershire. We provide quite a range of services from across those 3 areas, from outreach, street outreach, right the way through to employment training, and support people to sort of need help to get back into work, or further support to kind of link back into the community. We also provide a lot of housing support and support around benefits, and that not all people need it, but we believe that everybody needs that firm foundation to be able to make change. And so many people in drug and alcohol treatment services have quite complex problems, and maybe, have had struggles with drugs and alcohol for a long time, and actually need quite quite often need support around things like housing in particular, but also benefits. And I'm very mindful that the £20 universal credit reduction is about to be made, and that's going to have a big impact. And we have quite a number of housing peers, and that's something that they will be aware of, and we need to, we'll be working with them to support people as well around that, because that's kind of scary for a lot of people. Anyway, our sort of third service area is social prescribing, which we don't do in Bristol, but we do elsewhere. And to give it a simple way of describing it, it's a very person-centered navigation service, and that sounds jargonistic as well, but we work sometimes in GP surgeries or sometimes with community-based services who refer people who are disconnected, not as a result of drugs and alcohol, but other reasons. And we provide sort of some light support, which is more along the lines of, what do you need? And we'll signpost into the community and sometimes give a little bit of help. But I guess what's in common with all our services is a kind of very person-centered, positive view about people, and a desire to help people to remove barriers so that they can achieve their potential. And as I said, our peers are a very critical part of our service. In Bristol, we've been providing peer support services since 2012. And I'm very proud of our service here. And as I say, there's a lot of our staff peers involved today. And I think, they do a really great job in terms of connecting people back to their local community, through to supporting people by being a body. So we've got, at the moment, I believe, around 50 peers working across the community of Bristol as peer mentors, sometimes as peer mentors. Basically the approach is we provide a level of support and training, and then help to identify, we work with people's strengths and skills and then try and match in terms of the placement or the peer work that they do. And just to give you a sort of smattering of some of those things, sometimes it's training. Our peers are involved with many different organisations, sometimes coming on board and helping with training. And I was just looking on my presentation, I've got some quotes from some of the people we've trained, but there was one there from the BBC going back a few years ago, which talked about, how great it was having some of our peers, but basically people in recovery, talking about their experience, and it really helped them to understand and reduce stigma. I've worked with the DEC, with the police, with the drug education programme. So that's sort of the training side of what they do, getting alongside professionals and really helping to design and make sure services are appropriate, and really reducing stigma, I think. We have placements out with a range of organisations that includes BDP, St Mungo's, Streetwise, Bristol Food Banks, I think the North Bristol Food Bank, so a wide range of places. And also, I think really crucially, they serve to really give feedback to DHI in terms of how we develop our services so that we can be helpful, hopefully, to people who are in recovery, or not, or just began that journey, I guess. So I think being a peer is incredibly, it is that giving and receiving thing. So I think it goes back to that bit at the start. Recovery is about giving and receiving, and for DHI we gain so much from our peers, but also I know that our peers in turn gain from giving to others, and I think that very reciprocal nature of recovery is, for me, absolutely fundamental and key, and what I love about the peer service and all they do. So I had a lovely little case study in my PowerPoint. I've shown you how rubbish I am at my IT. Someone called Stuart, I'm going to just talk you through it, because Stuart came from rehab in Plymouth,
Rosie.
Bristol, and he loved Bristol. A great place, and he was very happy. began working with DHI in 2017.
Rosie, could I just let you know you've got a minute left?
I've got a minute left. Oh my God!
Yes.
But I did start late, so I'm just going to just give me
Yeah, no,
2 minutes.
that's allowing for the lateness.
Okay, so sorry. Oh, Stuart. So basically, COVID, as it went on, you know, that sort of void in his life, not having enough to do. I think DHI equipped our peers very well, actually, with equipment to be able to run a peer support, a support line, a phone support line. The phone support line through COVID was absolutely crucial in being able to speak and support many people, over 350 people who were on, you know, in drug and alcohol treatment. It was an utter lifeline, and I've seen emails from some of the people that received that support. It was really brilliant, and I know in turn, you know, some of those peers found that also not only filled a gap, gave them something to do, and a really positive sense, they are also giving back. So I'll just end where I began. I think for me, recovery is all about reciprocal kind of, you know, mutual supporting people, and it's a community where you can kind of come together and share. And yeah, anyway, good luck, and thank you very much for inviting me, and I'm sorry about my failures on IT.